Welcome back to our channel World of Coins, the place where we uncover hidden treasures in your coin collection. Have you ever wondered if that old coins could be worth thousands or even millions? Well, today's your lucky day. We're diving into some of the rarest and most valuable US coins that might be sitting right under your nose. Let's jump in and see if you've got a fortune waiting to be discovered. Top 1. Most of us don't give a second thought to the coins we carry. We drop them into vending machines, toss them into tip jars, or let them disappear into couch cushions and glove compartments. But once in a while, one of those ordinary-looking coins turns out to be something extraordinary, a tiny piece of metal hiding a story, a legacy, and a value far beyond what's stamped on its face. Today, we're uncovering one such coin that's quietly making waves in the world of collectors, the 2019 Lowell quarter from the United States of America's Washington State Quarter Dollar Series. At first glance, this coin seems just like any other quarter in circulation. But dig a little deeper, into the design, the historical context, and the rare minting errors that some of these coins carry, and you'll quickly realize why this isn't just another coin in your change. The Lowell quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, a follow-up to the popular 50-state quarters program. This new series, launched in 2010, focused on America's national parks and historic sites, places that represent the beauty, strength, and culture of the nation. Lowell National Historical Park, located in Massachusetts, was chosen to represent the first coin released in 2019. And the design is nothing short of powerful. It shows a female mill worker standing at a loom, gazing out of a large window at the looming bell tower of the Butt Mill, one of the most iconic structures in Lowell. This simple but evocative image tells the story of the American Industrial Revolution, when young women, often referred to as mill girls, left their rural homes to work in the textile mills of growing factory towns like Lowell. This coin isn't just about architecture or machinery. It's about people, about the young women who helped build the backbone of America's economy in the 1800s. They worked long hours, lived in company boarding houses, and became symbols of independence, resilience, and progress. The Lowell quarter pays homage to their contribution with a design that captures both the power of industry and the quiet dignity of labor. But as much as this coin honors the past, there's something else that makes it incredibly valuable in the present, and that's rarity. In coin collecting, value often comes down to a combination of history, condition, and era. And the Lowell quarter has become an unexpected hotspot for all three. Some versions of the 2019 Lowell quarter were struck with extremely rare minting errors, the kinds of errors that collectors dream of finding. One of the most notable is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice by the same die, but the impressions are slightly misaligned. The result? Slightly doubled images, often seen on the loom threads, the text, or even in the windows of the mill tower. To the untrained eye, it might look like a blur or shadow. But to a collector, it's a golden ticket. Another rare variation is the off-center strike, which happens when the coin blank is misaligned in the press. This results in a quarter where part of the design is missing or shifted dramatically to one side. The more severe the error, especially if the date remains visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. It's a dramatic and highly collectible mistake. There have also been cases where Lowell quarters were discovered with clipped planchets, coins that were struck on incomplete metal blanks. These can look like small bites taken out of the coin's edge. While they may appear damaged, these are actually factory errors that escaped the mint's strict quality control, and they are highly sought after. One of the most intriguing and extremely rare possibilities is the wrong planchet strike, when a coin is accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination, like a dime or a foreign coin. These are rare, bizarre, and incredibly valuable, but even without these minting errors, a Lowell quarter in high-grade condition can still command serious attention from collectors. Coins are graded on a scale of 1 to 70, with mint state, MS, coins starting at 60. An MS 67 or MS 68 Lowell quarter, especially one fresh from a U.S. mint roll or uncirculated set, is already a high-value find. Add a rare error to that, and suddenly that simple quarter in your pocket becomes a collector's dream. Professional grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, have verified and certified many Lowell quarters, but only a small handful have received the highest grades or documented errors. These are the coins that appear in major auctions or are passed privately among serious numismatists for impressive sums. What's most exciting is that these valuable Lowell quarters weren't minted a century ago or locked away in a vault. They were released into general circulation in 2019. That means they're out there. In bank rolls. In wallets. In the change you got at the coffee shop. Every day, someone might unknowingly hand over a coin worth far more than 25 cents. And every day, collectors check their quarters, hoping to find one of those hidden gems. Over the past few years, the Lowell quarter has become more than just a tribute to history. It has become a modern mystery, a scavenger hunt for those who know what to look for. And in one extraordinary case, a Lowell quarter, featuring a clear double die error and preserved in immaculate mint state condition, was certified by experts, authenticated, and eventually sold at auction. That single quarter, originally minted for everyday use, was purchased by a private collector for the remarkable sum of $26,000. So before you drop your change into a parking meter or leave it behind on a counter, take a moment. Look closer. You might be holding a story, a piece of America's industrial heritage, and perhaps, a coin that could change everything, because in the world of coin collecting, even the newest coins can hold old secrets, and incredible value. Top 2. Every coin we carry in our pockets holds a piece of America. Not just in its face value, but in its story, in its design, its symbolism, and sometimes, in the rare secrets it holds. Some of these coins are so unique, so valuable, that they've become legends in the world of coin collecting. And one such hidden treasure is the 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter, part of the United States of America's iconic Washington Quarter Dollar Series. Released in the final year of the 50 State Quarters program, the Oklahoma Quarter was the 46th coin in the series, honoring the 46th state to join the Union. The program, which started in 1999, was a numismatic celebration that gave every state a spotlight, and gave collectors a chance to explore the nation's diversity, history, and culture through a coin no bigger than a bottle cap, but the Oklahoma Quarter. It stands out for more than just its place in the timeline. It's a coin with a design that captures movement, grace, and meaning all in one powerful image. On the reverse side, we see the scissor-tailed flycatcher, Oklahoma's state bird, soaring across the coin with its wings outstretched and its distinctive forked tail in motion. Surrounding it is a field of Indian blanket wildflowers, blooming boldly and vividly. This isn't just decorative, it's deeply symbolic. The bird in flight represents freedom and forward momentum. The wildflowers are a celebration of Oklahoma's native landscape and cultural pride. It's a beautiful design, one of the most elegant and poetic in the entire 50-state series. But beauty isn't the only reason this coin has become such a point of interest. In fact, what makes this quarter so fascinating to collectors isn't just what was intended during its creation, it's what happened by accident. You see, like many coins in U.S. mint history, the Oklahoma Quarter has a few secrets. Rare errors, hidden details, and special minting mishaps have turned some versions of this coin from ordinary change into serious money. The 2008 Oklahoma Quarter might just look like any other quarter to the untrained eye, but to a collector, it could be a jackpot in disguise. Let's talk about errors. One of the most well-known and sought-after mistakes in modern coinage is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice with slightly misaligned dies, causing visible doubling in some parts of the design. In rare Oklahoma quarters, this doubling has been spotted on the words United States of America, and even in the fine details of the flycatcher's wings and tail. These doubling errors aren't easy to see without magnification, but once spotted, they make the coin far more valuable. Then there's the off-center strike. If the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned during minting, the image can be stamped off-center, leaving part of the design or lettering cut off. The more dramatic the shift, especially when the date is still fully visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. These off-center Oklahoma quarters are highly collectible, especially in uncirculated condition. Even rarer are wrong planchet errors. That's when a quarter is mistakenly struck on a blank meant for another coin, like a dime or a foreign denomination. These mistakes are incredibly rare and almost always fetch impressive prices when authenticated, and don't forget about coins with die cracks, cuts, or missing clad layers. These minor errors might seem insignificant, but for collectors, they are pieces of minting history, flaws that escaped quality control and made it into circulation, making them extremely desirable, but error alone doesn't make a coin valuable. The condition of the coin plays a huge role. That's where professional grading comes in. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC assign a score from 1 to 70 based on the coin strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. Coins that are freshly minted, never circulated, and perfectly preserved are known as mint state, or MS. A coin graded MS65 is excellent. MS67 or MS68 is extremely rare. And a coin that combines one of these ultra-high grades with a minting error. That's where real value begins. Some of these Oklahoma quarters have shown up in pristine condition, untouched by circulation, still shimmering with their original luster. And when paired with a dramatic mint error, that combination becomes almost priceless in the eyes of a collector. What makes this even more thrilling is that these coins aren't sitting behind glass in some museum or stored away in elite private collections. Many are still out there, in jars, drawers, old bank rolls, and change dispensers. People have found rare Oklahoma quarters by sheer luck, by simply looking closely at the coins they already had. That's the thrill of it. The possibility that you might be holding something extraordinary without even knowing it. Over the years, collectors and dealers have documented incredible sales for rare state quarters. But one case stood out from the rest, a 2008 Oklahoma quarter, featuring a rare mint error and preserved in immaculate, mint state condition, graded by professionals, verified, authenticated, and sold through a reputable auction house. That one single quarter, a 25-cent piece that most would never give a second glance, was purchased for a price that truly stunned the coin collecting world. It was sold for a remarkable and unforgettable $56,000, yes, that's right. From a single coin worth 25 cents, to a final sale of $56,000. So the next time you get a handful of coins back at the store, don't overlook the quarters. Check the dates. Study the designs. Take a closer look at that soaring flycatcher on the 2008 Oklahoma coin. You might just be holding a hidden treasure, a piece of metal history that's worth far more than its face value, because in the world of rare coins, you never know what fortune might be hiding in plain sight. Top 3. Have you ever wondered if the change jingling in your pocket could actually be worth a small fortune? Imagine reaching into your drawer, pulling out a quarter, and realizing that what you're holding isn't just a coin, it's a rare piece of history worth thousands of dollars. Welcome to the fascinating world of modern U.S. quarters, and today, we're diving deep into one of the most dramatic and historically rich coins ever released, the 2019 War in the Pacific Quarter. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. But don't be fooled. The story behind it, and the rare variations that have turned up in circulation, make this one of the most sought-after coins among modern collectors. Let's begin with what makes this coin so meaningful. The War in the Pacific National Historical Park, located on the island of Guam, was chosen to represent the Mariana Islands in the U.S. Mint State and Territory Quarters collection. But this isn't just about tropical beauty or geographic pride. This coin is a solemn tribute to one of the most pivotal and heroic chapters in American military history. Flip the coin over and you'll see a striking design. 2 U.S. soldiers are depicted storming the beach at Asin Bay, one crouched in the foreground, the other charging ahead. In the distance, a military landing craft rests in the shallows, a powerful reminder of the invasion that helped recapture Guam from Japanese forces during World War II. This wasn't just a strategic battle, it was a fight for freedom, for survival, and for honor. The coin captures that moment with a rare emotional intensity. What makes this design especially powerful is its realism. You can almost hear the crashing waves. You can feel the tension, the urgency, the courage. The designers didn't want to romanticize war, they wanted to show its weight, its importance, and the bravery of those who fought for peace. In that sense, this coin isn't just a collector's item, it's a miniature memorial, but while the history behind the war in the Pacific Quarter is enough to give it meaning, what's really turned heads in the numismatic community are the rare versions that have emerged since its release. You see, even with today's high-tech minting processes, no system is perfect. And when mistakes happen, even tiny ones, those flawed coins become treasures. Among the rarest errors seen with this quarter are double die strikes. These occur when the die, the engraved stamp that strikes the coin, hits the metal twice, slightly off alignment. That creates a doubling effect, especially noticeable in areas like the soldier's helmet, the waves of the ocean, or the inscriptions such as "War in the Pacific" or "Guam." These double die coins are incredibly collectible and have fetched impressive prices at auctions. There are also off-center strike errors, where the image is misaligned on the coin, cutting off part of the design and leaving a blank crescent on the edge. These striking mishaps are dramatic, rare, and extremely desirable when the date remains fully visible. Other known errors include die chips, which leave small bumps or blobs on the coin's surface, and clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing because it was cut from the metal sheet incorrectly. Even a missing clad layer, where part of the outer coating peels away to reveal a darker inner metal, can boost a coin's value dramatically. Then there are the wrong planchet errors, where a quarter is accidentally struck on a metal blank meant for a different denomination, like a nickel or even a foreign coin. These are exceptionally rare but have occurred with other America the Beautiful quarters, and any such version of the war in the Pacific Quarter would be a true numismatic gem, but perhaps the most important factor in determining a coin's worth is its condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with higher grades indicating better preservation. A coin straight from a mint roll, untouched by circulation, could be graded as MS66, MS67, or even higher. Combine that level of condition with one of the rare minting errors, and you're holding something very, very special, and that's where the real excitement begins, because while millions of these quarters were minted and sent into everyday circulation, to stores, gas stations, coin rolls, only a handful carry the exact combination of error, rarity, and pristine condition that make collectors go wild. Most people spend them without a second thought. But some lucky individuals have found them by accident, in pocket change, in coin jars, in old bank rolls saved for years. And when those coins are submitted to grading companies like PCGS or NGC and come back with high marks and verified errors, their value skyrockets. That's the story behind one of the most stunning finds in recent history, a 2019 war in the Pacific Quarter with a rare double die error, perfectly preserved in mint state condition, and officially certified by professionals. This wasn't just a collector's dream, it was a discovery that turned a 25-cent coin into a once-in-a-lifetime payday. That single quarter, just one coin out of millions, was sold to a passionate collector for a jaw-dropping total of $22,000. So next time you're handed change at a checkout counter, don't rush to spend it. Look at the dates. Study the design. Hold the war in the Pacific Quarter up to the light. You never know, a little piece of history, a symbol of sacrifice, and a life-changing treasure could be sitting right there in the palm of your hand, because in the world of coins, sometimes the most ordinary things turn out to be absolutely extraordinary. Top 4. What if I told you that one of the most valuable coins in America could be hiding in plain sight, resting quietly at the bottom of your pocket, mixed into your spare change, or even tucked away in an old drawer where no one's looked in years? In a world where we often overlook the small things, the 2006 Nebraska quarter, part of the Washington State Quarter Dollar series, proves that even the tiniest piece of metal can carry an extraordinary story, and an unbelievable value. The year was 2006. The United States Mint was deep into the wildly popular 50-state quarters program, a 10-year journey to honor each U.S. state with its own unique coin. Nebraska, the 37th state to join the Union, was chosen for that year's release. But unlike some other state quarters, Nebraska's coin didn't just depict a monument or a building. It brought history to life. It told a story on a canvas no larger than an inch in diameter, a story that echoes with the sounds of thunderous hooves and the strength of the American frontier. The reverse of the Nebraska quarter features one of the most visually dynamic designs in the entire series, a scene of a covered wagon making its way west along the legendary Oregon Trail, led by a family of pioneers journeying toward a new life. Looming above them in the distance is Chimney Rock, one of the most iconic natural landmarks of the American Midwest. It's more than just a rock formation. For those early settlers, Chimney Rock was a symbol of hope, a marker that they were on the right path. For modern Americans, it's a timeless reminder of the courage and resilience it took to settle the vast heartland of the country, that bold scene, the endless plains, the determined settlers, the towering rock formation, captures the spirit of Nebraska and of America itself. It's a coin that doesn't just commemorate a place, it captures a movement, a generation, a dream, but beyond its rich design and symbolism, the Nebraska quarter holds another layer of fascination, one that only the sharpest collectors know about. You see, not all Nebraska quarters are created equal. Some were struck with errors. Others were minted with unique characteristics. And a very few, the rarest of the rare, combined those traits with near-perfect condition, making them worth more than almost anyone could imagine. Let's explore what makes some Nebraska quarters stand out from the rest. First, there's the double die error, one of the most famous and desirable in the coin collecting world. This happens when a coin is struck more than once by the die, but each strike is slightly off-center. The result? Letters and numbers that appear to have shadows or doubling. On the Nebraska quarter, these might show up on the words United States of America, Nebraska, or 2006, and sometimes even on the fine details of the wagon or the rock formation itself. These errors are subtle, but under magnification, they reveal an unmistakable flaw, and a massive jump in value. Then there are off-center strike errors. These occur when the blank coin planchet isn't correctly aligned in the minting press. The image appears shifted, sometimes dramatically, cutting off parts of the design or lettering. The more off-center the strike, while still showing the date, the more prized the coin becomes. Other valuable variants include clipped planchets, where a small crescent of metal is missing from the edge of the coin, and die breaks, where cracks in the die result in raised bumps or lines on the finished coin. And for the truly rare finds, there are coins struck on the wrong metal planchet entirely, for example, a quarter struck on a blank intended for a nickel or a foreign coin. These are called wrong planchet errors, and they're almost always worth far more than face value when discovered. Now let's talk about coin condition, one of the most important factors in determining value. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a 70-point scale. A typical coin pulled from circulation might score somewhere between MS60 and MS64 if it's in good shape. But coins that have never been circulated, that still shine with their original luster and show no signs of handling or wear, can score as high as MS66, MS67, or even MS68. These top-grade coins are rare, and highly desirable, and when one of these high-grade coins also includes a dramatic minting error, that's where things start to get exciting. Because collectors are not just buying a quarter. They're buying history. A snapshot in time. A perfect mistake. A work of accidental art. You might be wondering, how likely is it to find one of these quarters? Surprisingly, it happens more often than you'd think. Some people have found rare Nebraska quarters in bank rolls. Others have pulled them from their own loose change. All it takes is a little patience, a good eye, and the curiosity to look at every coin just a bit more closely. These stories are what make coin collecting so fascinating, not just the history, but the thrill of the hunt. Because one quarter, found in an unexpected place, can lead to something far greater than what it seems, and there is one story, in particular, that stands above the rest. A rare 2006 Nebraska state quarter, struck with a remarkable double die error, preserved in stunning mint state condition, and officially graded by one of the top professional services, went on to stun collectors and dealers alike. After a series of offers, evaluations, and heated interest from private buyers, that single coin was eventually sold at a prestigious auction. The final price? A jaw-dropping total of $76,000. That's right. One simple coin. Worth just 25 cents in everyday life. Sold for $76,000. So the next time you're handed change, or cleaning out that old jar in your kitchen cabinet, don't ignore the quarters. Take a moment. Look at the year. Study the details. That tiny piece of metal might just be holding more than a bit of history. It might be the key to an unexpected fortune, because in the world of coins, the treasure is always in the details. Top 5. Have you ever stopped to think about the journey of a coin? Not just where it's been, but what it represents. That little quarter you carry in your pocket has more than just monetary value. It can carry history, culture, stories of land, people, and sometimes, even hidden treasure. Today, we uncover one such story, that of the 2020 Salt River Bay Quarter. A small coin that honors ancient heritage, celebrates natural beauty, and in rare cases, holds surprising value beyond imagination. In 2020, the United States Mint continued its America the Beautiful Quarters program, a series that began in 2010 and ran through 2021. This ambitious program featured national parks and historic sites from across all U.S. states and territories. Each coin brought to life the spirit and identity of a different corner of the country. And in the case of Salt River Bay, the spotlight was turned to one of the most breathtaking and historically rich places in the Caribbean, the U.S. Virgin Islands, located on the island of St. Croix. Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve is not just a scenic coastal landmark, it is a sacred place. This site holds evidence of human settlement going back more than 2,000 years. It was once home to the indigenous Taino people, and later became the landing site of European explorers. It's a place where ecology and culture intersect, where mangrove forests thrive alongside ancient ceremonial grounds, and where the roots of America stretch deep beneath the sands. The design of the Salt River Bay Quarter is unlike any other. Instead of depicting people or battles, it focuses on nature's quiet resilience. At the center of the reverse side is a towering red mangrove tree, its roots curling into the ground and branches stretching toward the sky. The design is clean, modern, and powerful in its simplicity. It represents life, regeneration, and environmental preservation, a tribute to one of the most important ecosystems in the Virgin Islands and the world. But while this coin was created to honor nature and history, what has truly taken the numismatic world by surprise is its growing collector value. You see, not every Salt River Bay Quarter is the same. Some of these coins, the rarest of them, contain minting errors, variations, or conditions so flawless that they've become worth far more than 25 cents. These are the coins collectors are hunting for. The coins that transform an everyday object into a hidden treasure. Let's take a closer look at what makes some of these quarters so valuable. One of the most significant types of error collectors look for is the double die. This happens when the coin die strikes the blank twice but slightly misaligned, causing parts of the design to appear doubled. On the Salt River Bay Quarter, this doubling might appear in the tree's branches, the text around the edge, or the detailed root system. To the untrained eye, it might seem like a small blur, but to a collector, it's a prized mistake. Then there's the off-center strike, a minting error that occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned in the press. This causes the image to be shifted, often cutting off portions of the design or date. Some off-center Salt River Bay Quarters show dramatic shifts that make them instantly stand out. The more misaligned, the more valuable, especially when the year, 2020, is still clearly visible. Another rare and visually striking error is the clipped planchet, where a small portion of the coin is missing from the edge. These aren't post-mint damages, but factory flaws, actual cutting mistakes made during production. They're rare, easy to spot, and highly collectible. Even more elusive are wrong planchet errors, which occur when a quarter is mistakenly struck on a blank meant for another coin, like a dime, nickel, or even a foreign denomination. These anomalies are not only rare, they're often one of a kind, making them prized possessions in the eyes of seasoned collectors. And then there's the factor of condition. Every coin that leaves the mint starts out in pristine state, but only a few survive in perfect form. Most get scratched, handled, dropped, or spent. But some are set aside, untouched, perfectly preserved in what collectors call mint state. These coins are professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC on a scale from 1 to 70. Anything over MS65 is considered exceptional. Coins graded MS67 or higher, especially with minting errors, are not just rare, they are incredibly valuable. But what's even more thrilling? Some of these rare Salt River Bay Quarters have been found not in museums or high-end auctions, but in ordinary places, slipped into change at a gas station, found in bank rolls, tucked away in a kid's coin jar. That's what makes this coin so special. It's out there. It's circulating. And you could be the one to find it. Over the last few years, these rare error coins, when paired with pristine condition and certified by a grading service, have commanded higher and higher prices in the collector market. One particular coin stood out, a Salt River Bay quarter that featured a dramatic minting error, flawless mint luster, and a grade that stunned everyone. After being authenticated and appraised, it was brought to auction where it caught the attention of several high-profile collectors, and that single quarter, once worth only 25 cents, was ultimately sold for a staggering $18,000. So next time you receive a quarter in change, don't ignore it. Look closely. Check the date. Examine the design. Pay attention to any doubling, shifting, or clipping. That small coin in your hand might just be something remarkable. A living tribute to nature. A symbol of history. And perhaps, a fortune hiding in plain sight, because in the vast world of coins, even the smallest treasures can hold the biggest surprises.